record yourself. And that's how you get it. Record yourself. Yeah.
From a female perspective, I wanted to ask you, as a mother, taking care of a household, having children, if you ever come to a point where you had to put your dreams and your vision, would you pass them on hold because you are a mother?
I did. I always wanted to model. But I became a mother at 19. So I was a mother of 5 children. So, and they were step-steps. So I had to do all of that, juggle a job, a lot of things that mothers do, whatever. But I tell people now, try not to let that stop your dream, because you're never too old to go forward with what you want to do. You're never too old. It's never age young. Never age young. So if you have a dream and you had to put yours to the side, and it's to a point now, you're 50, 60, whatever, it's never too late, because I'm 50, so it ain't too late. I'm
Still
ready.
young. Still young.
Yeah, I'm ready. They put me on the runway, I give it to you. What's up? Everybody,
Your family was faced with adversity. You mentioned your son earlier. He was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. When you got the news, talk a little bit about the impact and what was going through your mind when you first heard that your son was diagnosed.
Well, when they told me about Hodgkin's lymphoma, we don't hear that. We hear about breast cancer, colon cancer, stuff like that. But I really didn't know what it was, really. I'm gonna let you slide through my son. It was back in 2012 when we first found out. But we didn't know because he kept, my son plays sports, so he kept getting fatigued. That's something he never get fatigued. And so we just thought maybe he had allergies or colds, so we took him to the doctor, and they kept saying he had allergies. So for months and months, it just something went right, So I switched doctors, and so they sent him to specialists in Greenville, so they did a biopsy, and when they told me what it was, I'm like, okay, what is that? And so then they explained to us, and we read paperwork on it. It's like, is there a cure for this? Are you serious? So what he had comes in Caucasian and old people. He was young, African American. So I'm not understanding. So it was, once I got it, realized it was I went through something. I really did. Because it was new to me. I didn't know what it was. So I did a lot of research on it. And like I said, when he had it, it was Hodgkin's lymphoma. It went in remission, but he came back like 4 months later as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is more aggressive. So he was already stage 4 when we found out. So that's the worst stage you can get.
So,
that particular cancer.
So we'll talk a little bit about your spirit. You're the backbone of the family. You're a provider. Like, how was your spirit going through everything? Because you want to protect your baby, and you still at the same time you have to go work to provide for your family. Like, how was your spirit going through everything? And watching your son go through what he was going through.
Well, my son was in good spirit. I think that's what kept me going, because he was never. He never cried during the process. He wouldn't even let you come and visit him if you had tears in your eyes. He just didn't. That's just the kind of person he was. And so a lot of days was, I didn't let him see me, but I struggled behind the scenes. I tried to stay strong. Well, I was strong for my family. But I would leave work, go to, because he had to stay in the hospital, do treatment so many days, and come home every 3 weeks. So I would leave work, go there. I literally stayed at the hospital, had clothes, wash my clothes there. That's like, really. So I would leave work, go there, come back, go there. And in the meantime, in between, Jared is what got me through, believe it or not. I don't think he knew at the time. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have a bad day, man. come up to me and talk to me. And it's just like my son's spirit was on him, and it would just ease away. And at the same time, I'm talking to him, and he needed someone at that time too. We didn't know we needed each other. So I've always, I'm trying not to cry. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
But it's rough. It is. But I know I have to keep going because at the end of the day, he said just be happy and keep going. And so that's what I'm doing. So I'm sorry, y'all. It's just a moment.
It's okay.
It's a moment.
It's okay.
And this is kind of, the type of person his son was. I saw he was number 7 out of 365 students in his class.
Yeah.
Very smart. Very smart. You had the privilege, of graduation, walking in honor of him. Can you talk a little bit about that moment? And what
Talk
it
about that. Yeah, I did. I walked on June the 3rd. Well, I was interviewed back in April, 2 months after he passed. Fox interviewed me because he's never made a B since he's been in school. The whole 12 years. He never made less than 96 over 12 years. And so they heard the story and wanted to interview me. And so they said, well, we'll be back at graduation. I said, I'm going to walk in his cap and gown. I was like, well, so I'm going to walk and get his diploma. So I was the very first one to walk and get the diploma. So I walked in his cap and gown.
Amen.
I got a few more questions.
Okay.
So through everything, how do you want your son, to be remembered?
Well, I have a foundation in his name. I think you got it up there. It's called the Michael Tank Anderson Foundation, MTA Foundation. And so we did a walk for him that year because he was going to have a transplant. So it was like fight, tank, fight at that time. But then when he passed, we just made it as a foundation. So what I do is, because he was striving for excellence, that's what the motto is. And so I give a scholarship to a senior every year. And I also raise money for families that have kids or even just grown-ups. It doesn't matter if you're struggling with cancer or whatever kind of cancer, really. I try to give back, and so I try to help them. Because you travel, bills still go on once you want all these treatments and things, and so I try to help out. So I do this every year.
What advice do you have for people who have lost love? May not have been a child, maybe a parent, a grandparent, or significant other. It's pretty much you never forget about them, you never get over it. You just have to learn how to try to understand that they're at peace and they transition. What advice would you have for anyone in this room or anybody watching that has lost love? What kind of advice would you have for them?
What you got to do is, how I get through is, I imagine he's off in college. And so, in my mind, he's still here. I can feel it every day. I feel it now. On this side, Jared on this side. So, you got to take the good moments, the precious moments, the memories that you have of that person. And just know it, you will see them again. And there's nothing wrong with talking to them. Nothing wrong with it. You get a lot of peace. I tell a lot of people, a lot of times they say, well, you don't need to cry. No, that's a part of your healing.
Right.
I promise you it is. Cry, you gotta cry all night. Next day, 10 years from now. It's been 8 years.
Right.
And I'll never forget him, but I've learned to deal with it better. Yeah. It doesn't get better, I just learned to deal with it better. It is a difference. So I'm not going to tell you that it's going to get better. I'm just not going to do that because it's not. You just learn to deal with it better.
As we wrap it up, please tell us how we can support you and your foundation. It's a wonderful cause. Can you tell everyone how we can support you?
It's called the Michael Tank Anderson Foundation.com, and if you put it up, you'll see it. Even if you pull my name or his name, you'll see the story, the graduation. I think I'm gonna let you put it on your website, so they know how to get in touch with me, okay? Alright, so when I have a walk, I would like to see all of you there, okay? To support me, okay? So I do a walk every year, and so I'm gonna put it out there, and I would love to see everybody. And also, in the near future, me and Jack got something coming up. We're gonna spill the beans right now, but we got something, so be looking out for that. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Ma'am, can we have a round of applause for you?